Welcome to another episode of our Learning Together. And it just feels fantastic because every time they have a connection with a person, with a human being, it just maximizes the experience. And that's what we're looking for. An ability and an opportunity to learn from each other. So, Gina, what's up, my buddy?
Hey, what's going on today?
What's happening? Are you happy today?
Yes, sir.
You're always smiling, bro.
Yeah.
What makes you smile today?
Man, just being able to wake up and try again every day.
Oh, you heard that, guys? The opportunity to be able to wake up and try it again. Every day is a gift. Every day is a great opportunity for you to say, thank you, Lord, because today it'll be another day of greatness.
Right.
I love that. That's my daily philosophy. You know that, right?
Yeah.
What's your routine when you wake up? What do you do?
First I give thanks. Check on the family.
Huh?
Make sure they good. And, just start my daily tasks as far as with the business and everything. But, yeah, that's my daily routine.
So let me ask a question. Do you think that you're living the life that you deserve or the life that you want?
I say both.
Both.
Yeah, I say both. Because I feel like if you put good out in the world, you're definitely gonna get it back. I mean,
The energy flows back, right?
yeah, it's like a cycle, 360. And anytime you don't give 360, you get a split.
That is a fact. It's actually almost like playing the ping pong.
Yeah,
If you give forward, the return is expected of equal or more potential energy, right? And if you're sharing good positive vibes, the blessing will be to have the positive reaction come back at you. And that's what good people always do. Deliver wellness, hopefully in the return of significant reciprocating energy. I like that a lot. That's my philosophy. So what else? What's up? What do we got going on?
for today I have some questions for you.
Oh, Lord, we got the questions and answers.
questions for you.
Let's go. It's part of learning
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
Go
So
for it. Question number one.
Question number one, Dr. G, what do you enjoy most about being an entrepreneur?
I believe that the balance of energies given and energies received is what creates the equation of happiness and success. I don't gratify myself with financial return. I don't gratify myself with the wealth and asset acquisition. What I gratify myself is how much have I created of great memories for me to remember. And obviously with life, they created the pocket, they created memories. But also I've seen a lot of people with bigger pockets and bigger success stories that have been so much about me, myself, and I, that there's not the word that evolves around the family. And when I say that for me to have this level of success, it means that I have my circle be taken care of. My parents, my children, the moms of my children, and the people that work with me, the people that work for me, and everybody else. It's all about the balance. And that's how I've seen it evolving, so that I don't have to look into the sides. I don't have to look back and say, what did not I do right? I'm always looking for doing right. I'm always looking for having the right actions, because predictable results come from one step at a time, creating the additional valuable results. Then the equation multiplies with greater satisfaction. That's how I see it.
I agree, man. That's good answer. How do you keep your feelings separated from your decision making?
That is actually not very hard, but I noticed that it took me a long time to isolate myself from the human being to the doctor, to the employer, to the person that is a father or a husband, or someone, whatever it is. I have to create almost like a multiple personality types to be able to accommodate my emotions and my results in order to help those surrounding me. For instance, when I speak to patients, I tell them, look, the advice that is neutral is the scientific explanation of the probable results and outcomes of your choices. As a friend, I'm going to tell you that I suggest that we follow these steps because it's more humanitarian. You balance the equations of patients' financials with family support, with motivation, with whatever emotional state or clinical state they are at the moment, and you balance the equation so you don't have radical solutions for the patient. for the human being and the partner, I have to understand what is the energy that this person is going to put into that maximizes the outcome if I were to be more radical. So I have tend to be very humanitarian, but I've also learned that by being radical, say no. This is not the approach. This is not the way. This is not the outcome that I'm looking for. Maybe the no, not right now. Let's wait, or no. Let me think about this a little further. I'm always positioning the right standard so that I don't have almost unpredictable results or a heartbroken situation. Yes, I am ready to act. Yes, I'm ready to follow. Yes, I am ready to help you. Or no, I don't think it's the right time, or I don't think that this is feasible. No, let me think about it, and then I will come up with a more objective response. So separating the emotions from whatever situation you have will make you more objective into having better outcomes. Being subjective to emotional responses is more in the terms of, are you willing to have unpredictable results based upon the humanitarian or the other person's subjectivity to their experiences and everything else? So always remember, being objective, no, let me be ready, or no, let me think about it, makes more sense rather than yes, being humble and then having to, the consequence of having to make up for loss of time.
I agree. In your book, which is a great book, man, I want to compliment you on that. You say, in your book, you say, time is now. Don't get distracted or get lost in possible associations. You are what you think, but you build your legacy with what you do. Why is that important to the road of success?
Because your words are almost like imprinted in the manual of operations of your brain, where whatever you project through your mouth, it has to come from your heart, so you're passionate about it, right? And then it has to be a thoughtful process so that it's actually repeatable. Because if you say, I'm going to fast, well, for how long? What is the purpose of your fasting? Health issues, weight loss, to create a source of, say, limitations for later gratification because you're making a mental sacrifice for somebody else's emotional or physical wellness. So when you connect your mindset and you connect your words and your actions, everything flows more transparently. So, and that's why it's so important. Whatever you build within your mindset, your thinking process, if you're sad and you repeat, oh, I'm so sad, I'm so negative, you're going to build that acidity in your system. Then you don't flow right. Your body becomes a source of negligent reactions because your body wants to protect you. Right. If your mindset is clear, it's positive, it's always looking towards solutions, you're going to put your 1,000% heart to make that happen. Right. But if everything you hear is negativity, it doesn't help you evolve. That's why the word is so important. I come from a generation that if I say we're going to do it, it's going to get done. Yeah. The legal generation says we're going to do it. Okay, let's put it in writing so we have an always commitment that well, whatever we wrote here is what's supposed to happen. Or let's break the relationship. Most people don't have the verbal commitment because their body doesn't follow the heart. When the body doesn't follow the heart, the mindset is questioning, and then whatever comes out of your mouth is fairly much doubtful. Yeah. And then after certain years of experiencing the commitment of verbal and action, it just becomes very transparent. Yeah. It's a natural flow. That's how I see it.
Great.
What works for you?
As far as me on that topic is as far as relationship with people, I have to feel a connection. I have to feel that you are genuine, man. That to me, that's very important in business, and with dealing with people. Just having that genuine. That what are your intentions? Mm-hmm. You know, because a lot of times people have intentions. They have a motive. They have motives a lot. You know,
agendas.
Yeah, man, and it's like, man, I'm really trying to connect with you. I really want to see you grow. I really want to see you grow, but your mind is somewhere else. I'm here trying to see you grow, and you like, how can I get over on him? How can I use him?
The inequality of life.
Yeah, and it's like, and I think that in in life in general, that if we all just take that out of trying to get over on people all the time and just trying to think about self, I think the world will be a better place, in my opinion.
Completely agree. Unfortunately, people are in self agendas. People have, in quotes, second thoughts about what they're doing, and the purposes are very unique. Like you may have somebody that is in the 50s with other mindset. Maybe you have somebody in their 30s with specific purpose. Then you have somebody in their 20s with definitely specific purposes, but they don't share transparently, you know?
Right.
And the problem with the type of person that you are, which is great for the world, is that people don't understand your wellness. People think that you're not for real. Do you know how many times people have said to me, oh, but are you for real? And I said, if you're questioning my being transparent and real, it's not on my side.
Right.
To explain to you how great being like me feels. You got to understand what it's within you that you haven't found yet.
Right.
So whatever you do, don't expect the world to react the way you would have acted. Because unfortunately, we are all raised in a world of inequalities. Yeah. But you, as you grow up, have the choice of make changes. Yeah. When you make those choices, be patient. It takes time. And at one point, people will emulate, copy how you are. Yeah. But can they keep their originality intact? Right. That's the question to us. So don't worry about it. Keep flowing. God's watching, the universe is listening to you. And as long as you have your faithful purpose of always being, well, developing and evolving to be better for the equality of the world to kind of like copy, you cannot suffer the differences. You don't have to accept them. You don't even have to tolerate them. You just have to let them be. Yeah. Always predicting that the outcome may not be the one you expect it to be. So set limits. And be clear about that. No, this is not the way it's going to work. No, this is not the way I expected this to be. Let's set some limits. People don't like limits because when you put limits on them, they expect you to be more benevolent. Yeah. Now you're evolving. Yeah. And the earlier you do it, the earlier you're going to evolve.
I think that's, I wouldn't say that's my problem. I just think that's just the good in me of giving people that second chance.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Just like giving people that second chance and like always thinking about, okay, maybe it just was that time or maybe it just was that day. And I think that's as far as taking myself to the next level of growth, I think I'm working on that now.
The maybe or that you thought that it was not good from you, we're going to eliminate. Yeah. There's no maybe. There's a world of either yes or no. Yeah. It's just that it's so hard when you're such a good person, such a good human being, to understand the differences among people and how they will not act like you. So you just give yourself 1,000%. Right. You're not at fault for their reactions, but you'll be guilty for not predicting the limits that will then take you away from your balance. Right. And always act right. Yeah. When you act right, I see the smile. Yeah. When you act doubtful, I see them smiling at you. Right. Set the limits. Set the limits. Yeah. From your children to your wife to your family to your circle to everybody else, set the limits according to your necessities. Because when you're good, the world surrounding you is going to be better. Yeah. If you're doubtfully good, people find a way to find that doubtfulness and they will work on it. Yeah. It's like almost like the ant finding the sugar. And they'll flow through.
Flow to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... what advice would you provide to someone being in a business for the first time?
If you're in the business because it was given to you, it's very different from being in a business that you created. Right. So now, if you're in the business because it was given or not, you got to put your 1,000% time into becoming the best and most knowledgeable about your business. What creates the business? What is the purpose? Who do you work with? Or who do you work for? We'll work for somebody. Right. At one point, right? Yeah. What are the limitations? What are the fiduciary, that means the financial and the legal attributes and consequences of right or wrong, and knowing exactly who your market is so that you can become the most knowledgeable about market needs, because market wants depends on the economy. Right. And then you are actually also like evolving in a niche where you need to find yourself, am I in the right location with the right environment for me to give my 1,000%? Or do I need to not accept my conditions and get to another level? Right. Because disregarding what it is, some people have the most questionable environment, but the most successful results. And some people have the most invigorating environments with the most doubtful results. And then with that, it's not just financials. It's like having the ironic behavior that when you leave your place, you have been miserable all day. Yeah. And when you get to your place, your home, you are still miserable. So when you produce this much acidity, the financials will never make up for the loss of emotions. They'll become distractions. So for anybody that is in a new business, you need to have the most of education. Know your market conditions. Know your target audience, or who are you going to be your customers. Create boundaries, and also surround yourself with like-minded people, or have somebody that knows more about the specifics units of your businesses so that it evolves. Because when you're the core of everything, when the core breaks, everything melts. Yeah. Does it make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So your surrounding has to be as passionate and striving even as hard as you are, or at least with the desirability, because the financial rewards never equates results. Right. You can give bonuses, you can pay compensation, you can pay the highest salaries, and if the people are not in the it for evolving, growing, and developing, right, it's a matter of time before they leave. Yeah. It's a fact.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Definitely. I agree.
And don't resent them leaving. Bless them when they leave.
Yeah.
Because they were about to not continue blessing your own business.
Right.
It's been an experience of people leave, they always have a knocking door back, and there's a purpose why they left. Yeah. So they need to find their own butterfly.
Correct.
Conversion.
I agree.
It's kind of like, I didn't want to say the original one.
Yeah. Oh, man. So you agree Dr. G is a brand, right?
I said that more than Dr. G is a brand, is a process of a lifestyle. It integrates so many values that I know are missing in our society. Working from your heart, giving you 1,000%, being always positive mindset, always knowing that the right words will actually follow with the right actions, that the people that share my lifestyle philosophy not necessarily believe in it at the beginning, but they learn a lot from it.
Right.
I say that the marketing and branding that people think is a campaign is actually a reality. It's like a lot of people don't know a lot about me. They only see what they see.
Right.
But behind that is the endless hours of commitment and self-developing. But then again, I got to say that I was blessed to be nurtured in a very welcoming and very invigorating environment with my parents. Yeah. And the relationship that I have with my mom and dad is just spectacular. The bonding that I have with my family is it's a daily connection. It's a daily continuity. It's something that my mom is never satisfied with not enough. My dad is never satisfied with not enough. We are always committed towards making sure that the whole circle is actually going forward and is actually evolving, and that the offsprings are educating themselves to become the best they can be, right, understanding that nothing without health, the wealth is not the rewards. Yeah. And I'm talking about mental health. Then comes the physical health. Yeah. And after that comes the rewards. So Dr. G being a branding, I think is more almost like an endless energy deriving source that builds anything that is surrounding me. That's how I see myself. And I'm just getting there. Just beginning. I'm just evolving.
Just evolving.
I'm evolving, man. I'm evolving. My mindset is on iPhone 21 already. Moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. That's definitely a beautiful thing, Doc.
The constant evolution of the mindset in generational changes in the transition from one era to the next era has to go along with the core values that made the person that you are today.
Yeah.
With your solid core values, you will always stay loyal to your inner instincts. So your reactions will be based upon reality checks, not the fantasy of the wannabe like.
Yeah.
So no copycats.
No copycat.
Originality.
This is very important. Originality is very important.
And I also understand that I need my time out for myself, my isolation, my time of thinking and being grateful about what I'm doing, where I want to go. Because when I say where I want to go, it's kind of like ocean wave that looks more and brings much more energy than the actual look of it.
Right.
Because anything that is within the ocean wave comes along with me. That's how I see it.
Flow.
It's a constant flow.
Yeah. You mentioned values and morals a lot. How important are these things to your character?
They're the essence. It's like the ABCs of my life. Without the full ABCs, you don't have an alphabet.
Yeah.
So if I am a believer that my transparency comes from respecting my morals and my values, then my ethical conduct, it's just based upon respecting the limits that I have set.
Right.
I know exactly my limits. I am willing to learn. I'm not going to flex on what I haven't learned because I will tell you transparently, I'm not too sure. I'm uncomfortable with this situation or question. I will bluntly come out to you and say, allocate some time for my learning, or I'm sorry, but this is not within my parameters.
Right.
I have non-negotiable terms of breaking into my core values to allocate for your flexibility.
Right.
That's not going to happen. I have core values that were given to me as a gift, and I have core values that I have adapted over the course of my evolution, which is in constant evolution. That's why I'm always adapting to the new generation without distracting me for what made this core integral.
Right.
And if I feel integral, I don't have to flex to allow what's surrounding me to get into my inner circle of peace. Because that means that I'm going to be within your lines of flow, and that's not going to happen. If you are wrongdoing, if you're bending the laws of the Lord, God's laws and wishes for the world, and you're trying to kind of like come up superior to the equality of mankind, it's not going to happen. Look, there's something very, 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 very powerful that one great man said one time. Are you the most billionaire in the world? And are you the most powerful man? Two different topics. Being billionaire, it's a matter of happening, but also vanishing. Because you can have billions today, but also have no billions tomorrow, right? The power comes within you. He says, I could be the most billionaire man, but I don't have the power to invade other nations or to take over other people's life upon my will.
Right.
That's pretty powerful.
That's very powerful.
And with that philosophy, I know that my powerful mindset will never break upon other people's weaknesses. The billions of love that I have can be shared with millions of love to give.
Right.
I ain't never going broke on my emotions. Because I'm a billionaire.
Riches.
But I'm not going to be more powerful than my peers because we are all equal. When you feel the superiority in your emotions, you're going to get done soon. Yeah. Somebody's going to take over you one day. And be ready because that's going to be very painful. It's going to be the loss of your existence. Is it making sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
And it goes with politics. It goes with dictatorships. It goes with the world that evolves upon oppression.
Yeah.
When you press the brother or the sister, the Lord will have a path for you. Be afraid of that.
Karma.
It'll come one day. Karma.
Karma.
Facts. That's hard.
I believe in it. I believe in it wholeheartedly.
Stay positive. Stay loyal to the God because it'll come back to you one day. And I also know that when I provide so much wellness, it actually reflects upon my inner and my closer circles wellness as well. That's why it's so important to put limits to your circles, to the circles that are closer to you, the circles that are closer to the closest to you, and always be aware of the 360. Always. We're going to play ping pong like 360.
Yeah, man. That's powerful.
What causes the most of fear for you?
What causes the most fear?
Yeah. Like, what are you afraid of?
I'm afraid of comfortability.
Uh-huh.
I'm afraid of getting too comfortable. You know.
In what sense?
In what sense? As far as just evolving and becoming the best me, like just getting comfortable where I don't have the ambition to take the next step. You know.
We see you have two very extrapolated words: ambition and comfort. You're perfect Libra. This is where the Libra people have such a beautiful heart. But it takes time to take decisions and make decisions.
Yeah.
Libras are always struggling within themselves of what's right and wrong, and that's why they never act. When you're a Libra, follow your heart. And if your heart is telling you to go for an emotion, go for it. Because God is providing you that emotion. But also set a parameter.
Yeah.
Right? For instance, ambition and comfortability are like night and day.
Right.
You want to have an eclipse. Ain't happening in the successful world.
Yeah.
Either, unfortunately, guys, either you're rich or you're poor. Because in the middle, we all live, right?
Yeah.
We share the love, we share the economy, we share the value, we share the time and everything else. But if you want to go to the successful burning sun, you're going to have to be a little selfish. You're going to hurt a lot of people. You're going to be isolated. You may end up being isolated. You may be able to be in multiple relationships that are endless, fulfilling to you. Because nobody equals you. And that's the problem with the most successful people. They're always heartbroken or heartbreaking. Yeah. Look at the history of the billionaires. And it always happens, guys. Yeah. You know? So, find yourself what you want to be doing when you're 80. And start writing a book from the 80 back. And that's your life plan. Because from 80 to 120 years old, you're going to have that comfortable balance. Yeah. From 80 to 70, 70 to 60, 60 to 50, 60 to 50 to 40, 40 to 30s, you need to find the purpose and values that you're going to create your business plan, your family plan, and then your self plan.
Yeah.
When you have your self plan, it's all about how I want to see myself, how I want to be taken care of for myself, because it's almost like saying my health is always going to be the same. No, it's not. So if you don't have a very strong health in the first 2 decades, the next 2 decades are going to be more complicated. Making sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
And then the next 2 decades coming up, which is your fourth, is going to be more complicated. And that's going to be harder for you to get to the 120-year circle.
Right.
I want to pass 100 years. My uncle is 101 years old. He's still kicking and good.
That's riches. To me, that's riches.
But you know what? He lost his wife when he was 50. He lost his daughter when he was 55. He lost his son. He was 98, 99. He's not alone. He's got cousins. He's got friends and everything else. He doesn't have no brothers. Yeah. Obviously, life it is what it is, but he's continuing, right? Yeah. But then as you go through your personal health plan comes your wealth. How do you accumulate enough passive income and capital cash flow to be able to survive the first 4 decades of building, so then you can enjoy healthy your next 40 years. And it comes with sacrifices. It comes with nights of doubtfulness. It comes with early mornings of fatigue, and you got to break through them. You got to stay compromised and committed to your goals. Don't think that you're going to get to 40 years later, even when past the first night. Does that make sense?
Definitely.
And don't dream about 40 years later if you're not having fun in every night. And don't think about your 10-year plan if you haven't even finished your first year plan. Reality clocks on every second, to every minute, to every hour, to every day. How you take time to use it to your advantage in the most efficient manner so that you accomplish your tasks in half or a quarter of the time with the same or more potentiated results. So you have now the extra time to enjoy meditation, prayers, peace, and that's invaluable. Once you're able to do that, it doesn't matter how many distractions you have. It doesn't matter how much rain you got going on you. It does, no matter how hard and dry it's outside. Right. You're going to appreciate every second. Because your grind will add assets, but it's going to take away values of moments of freedom and peace. Yeah. Like you have to grind in order for your daughter to go to school. You have to grind in order for your boy to be able to accomplish his careers. Correct. And his life. And then you have time to enjoy your baby. Yeah. Decision making. Whether you want to be the most successful lonely guy or the good business balance administrator that manages to have time for the family, for the friends, for the children, and for yourself. Yeah.
So basically your grind determines your present and future.
I create an equation of balance in between how I handle my financials. 50% goes into a security niche, something that is always going to be there. 25% goes into the moderate growth, something that I know is accessible within a certain amount of time, and that I have my assets conversion, and I have my asset enjoyment. And 25% goes to the wildlife, the luxurious life, the lifestyle, the enjoyment, the everything that you want to call it. Same like the risk factor for parameters of investment in portfolios that are high risk, high returns, or you know that money you don't count on, or that time you won't count on. Like if you donate time to church, or time to a society, or time to a charity, or you donate time to a foundation, it is very rewarding. But it's time that doesn't come back to you in terms of financial rewards, but only into memories. Right. Or into something that giving back gives you the comfortability of going back to your 75% usage, and you say, right. But that's when you learn how to manage your time.